go, bring it up. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go.
It's about to be a lit day today.
Hey, let's get back to our swagger, come on.
All of them get the dough down.
That is the juggernaut.
All right, welcome back to the Audible presented by Verizon. My name is Gabe Henderson alongside Ben Leber. Our special guest of the night, my man Eric Kendricks, EK54, man. Glad to have you back on the show. How are you holding up?
I'm holding up.
Coming off a week, 17 tackles, a career high. I'm sure the body is feeling amazing right now.
Yeah, I mean, pretty sore, but shoot, yeah, that's part of the job description.
Part of the job description, and a part of the trivia question this week is something that I think we'll get him on this week, Leber.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. You're a pretty smart guy, and this obviously involves your buddy, Anthony Barr. And I think everybody that's listening and watching knows that Anthony was a running back in college for a little bit, right? So, how many touchdowns did he have in college?
Touchdowns? One.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
Based off of our responses. Based off our responses.
I'm trying to think. Touchdowns on offense or touchdowns in general?
Well, it just says touchdown.
Let's just go offense.
Okay.
I actually think that he had one touchdown, like running the ball as a running back, but we also had this package in with Miles Jack and like Cashman Morris and stuff like that. And I don't know if he scored on that one, but like everybody was scoring on that one. So I'll say one.
Okay.
He actually had two.
Two.
Yeah, one receiving touchdown against Houston in 2011. Both of them came in 2011 and had a rushing touchdown.
I only remember the rushing one, so I didn't remember the receiving one at all.
You had a rushing attempt in college.
I did?
Yeah. It was 2012, I believe, against, I can't think of the team, but it was one rushing attempt. Do you know how many yards you had on?
I didn't have a rushing attempt.
No?
We had another guy named Jordan James, who was number 6, who was a running back.
On the ESPN stat sheet, it says Eric Kendricks, one rush attempt. I lied to you not.
I never got a rushing attempt in college.
Really?
I know that because, like I said, we had a package. We had like a period of time where we were just throwing guys in from defense, like Miles Jack. I don't know if he played both ways. So we started like making these packages. And I remember they put me in one time in practice. And my head coach came out of like nowhere and was like, nah, he's not playing this. He's like, get him out of there.
They're dogging your athleticism.
They put everybody else in.
Yeah, everybody else can run the ball.
It's like, nah, he's not going in.
So Miles Jack, AB, two linebackers get in.
Marsh. I think Kenny Clark from Green Bay, I think he was in on it. It was pretty beastie. It was pretty.
Well, they're handing out rushing attempts like Oprah does cars, and you can't get one.
Yeah,
what is the deal?
Mainly, it was like to just get guys in there to like kind of confuse them, but also just to block for Miles.
Yeah.
But it ended up being like really successful. Jordan Zumwalt was in it. Like we had a bunch of defense guys in it.
Well, I'm gonna send a letter personally to ESPN because it said you had one rush attempt for -1 yards.
That's incorrect. See, I wouldn't. First of all, that's
First of all, he would pick up puck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They must have thought you were on defense. One tackle for loss that game. Yeah. I think that's what it.
I would have had at least one rushing attempt, at least maybe probably average 30 yards carry.
Okay, so if you 30 yards to carry.
So one rushing attempt, those 30 yards.
Those numbers make sense to me. Yeah.
You get walked down or no?
I don't know.
It's 30 yards.
Maybe in college.
30 yards is 30 yards. Okay, so, all right, if you could play any position on offense in the NFL, what position would that be?
It would be running back.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't want to take that amount of beating, but just like based on the skill set that I currently have, it would probably be running back.
It's crazy because running backs are such a position that every team needs one to be successful, but the older you get, the less value it is. Because you just look at guys like Frank Gore that's been doing it for such a long time, that did it for a long time at a high level. Like we gotta respect those guys that take all that punishment and still are able to get up and still have the yards and the scores and the touchdowns and still bring butts to the seats.
Yeah, I feel like linebacker obviously is a physical position, on the football field. Like I'm gonna be involved in a lot of hits and a lot of, running around, tackling, and but. There could be a pass play, where I don't touch anybody. Whereas, like, running back is a similar position, but there's like on the opposite end of the spectrum, it's like there's plays where all 11 guys know that the running back is getting the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird.
So you were saying just a second ago that you're, after 17 tackles, you're sore. Like you're sore after every game, but like after 17 tackles and all the contact, what part of you is the most sore? Like your neck, shoulders?
Yeah, you know, it's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of, I feel like shoulders, neck, your cage, like my cage, like my chest, my ribs, everything's kind of bruised. It could be just like one-off bruises, legs, you know, get leg whipped, something like that.
You know, the one thing I was going to mention from last week's game still is like, you guys have had a bunch of starters go out, but there was a point in time in the game where, you know, it's Watts, it's Willikis, it's Blake Lynch up front, and then Cam Bynum in the back end, and it's like, man, they're all of a sudden within a couple series of one game, you're like, we've got some depth. You know, I think that was a little bit of a question mark coming into the season. Like, okay, we know that we've got some high-end starters, but who are some of these guys, these depth guys, especially young guys? And all of a sudden now they've just kind of blossomed right in front of our eyes. Like, how have you seen their development? Like, not, you know, maybe not collectively all of them, but any particular guy that's like really stood out? I
mean, a lot of them, for the most part, you know, it's crucial to have that. You know, I mean, obviously, you have your guys that you know and you kind of hear on a day-to-day basis, and you know those guys are out there making plays for you maybe years at a time. You know, so you get used to that name. But these other guys are in the NFL too, and and I think that they're starting to realize that, hey, you know, I can do this too, and I'm a guy as well. And you know, things happen throughout the course of the season. And when you get that opportunity, especially in the NFL, you got to take advantage of it. You know, you don't have time to be saying I'm young or I've never had this experience. You got to take it by the horns and say, you know, I belong here. This is my time to get it, and you got to go get it.
So did you do anything extra special leadership-wise, knowing that you're gonna have a bunch of young guys in for this last game? Did you have to say anything to those guys, especially the guys up front, when it comes to run fits and all this other stuff?
No, I mean, based on the preparation, I didn't really say much. I know I talked to Cam before the game, Cam Bynum, and I was just like, looked over him and I was just like, hey man, you're built for this. And he was just like, I know. And I was just like, that's all I needed to say. You know, I just told him you're built for it. And he is, you know, got to take advantage of those opportunities when you get them.
You know, the thing about Cam Bynum that like I'm so excited about is like, he comes off as, which he is, he's a very genuine guy, but he's such a nice guy, like lighthearted, easygoing. So like, as a fan, you're just like, oh man, like I don't know if this dude's gonna come in.
You want someone to be a dog,
exactly.
You want to see the anger.
Exactly, and then he comes in and balls. Southern Cal, well, a Cal guy. Is there any connection between there, like when you made that eye contact and he said, okay, like I know?
No, I mean, everyone's different. You know, some guys need to be that, you know, that angry, that bad mofo out there. You know what I mean? And that's cool. That play that role, but don't do anything that you're not used to. You know, if you want to be cool, calm in the locker room before the game, maybe crack a couple of smiles, joke around. But when it comes time to lock in, you're there, and that's what you need to do to get in that. You know, everyone's process is going to be different for sure.
All right. So what's your process before the game?
My process.
You dance in the locker room?
Nah, okay. I don't dance. You know, I like to chat around a little bit. I don't listen to any music. Like when I get to the stadium, let's say it's a home game and I'm driving to the stadium, I'll listen to the music in the car. But then like as soon as I get to the stadium, no music. I like to just hear everything that's going around me. I like to hear the mic checks, you know, before the, you know, them going through like their playlist or whatever pregame. I just want to hear everything around me. I just want to like, you know, get a couple smiles in, you know, soak up the atmosphere, the energy, and then, you know, when it's time to lock in, I'm just, because I don't want to get too, when I get too focused too early, I kind of waste my energy like too fast. So I want to just kind of hold it off as long as possible.
What helps you turn that switch on? Because you are, I mean, we're talking about Cam Bynum being just such a laid-back guy, but you're a laid-back guy. You know, you smile a lot, like you have a great disposition, like you're not crazy Tasmanian devil off the field, but when you get on the field, you are. So like, when does that switch get turned on, and what helps you turn that switch on?
I like to turn it on, not the pregame warm-up. Like we have the pregame warm-up where it's like we're all out there with no pads on and we're kind of just running around getting warmed up. The warm-up when we come out with the pads on before we actually go back out on the field, like that. I guess it's the pregame warm-up. I don't know what it's called.
You're talking.
But we're in our pads.
Warm up.
We're in our pads. You know, we're out there as a squad before we go back in the locker room for the last time.
Yeah.
That's the warm-up where I like to like get like kind of like run around really fast. Start like breathing heavy. You know, I want to start burning it out. Then that way, you know, when I come back to the locker room, I refocus, do some breathing, and then go out and hit it.
So do you think about anybody? Like when do you think about, is there a motivation, like you think about your family? Do you like any of that stuff? It's just like game plan?
I think about that prior. So I text my family way prior.
Yeah.
But when it's like, when I'm on the field, when I'm doing my thing, when I hit that pregame warm-up, it's not about anybody else. It's about myself. And when I get in that mode where it's like, I'm just focusing on myself, I'm really so much in the present right then and there. Like when I'm breathing before the game, when I'm, reading over my plays right before I go out there, it's really just me and myself. Like, what do I got to do? I got this opportunity. If anything, I tell myself, hey, if anything bad happens, go to the next play. Worry about what you can, control what you can, run to the ball. Just little reminders I tell myself that don't have to do with anybody else. Really, that's
Well, what I'm thinking about right now is going to break because we got to pay some bills. So when we come right back, we got Ben Leber and Eric Kendricks. So don't turn the dial. We'll be right back with the Audible. We'll be right back with more from Eric Kendricks right here on the Audible presented by Verizon.
People come up to us afterwards and been like, man, how'd you guys know? Or like, what'd you guys do? What are you guys doing? Like, what are we giving away? We're just like,
yeah.
Let's go, bring it up. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go.
It's about to be a lit day today.
Hey, let's get back to our swagger. Come on.
All of them get the dough down.
That is the juggernaut.
All right, welcome back to the Audible presented by Verizon. Gabe Henderson here alongside Ben Leber, our guy Eric Kendricks. And Eric, we're going back to Cali.
Cali.
Second time in 3 years. How you holding up, man?
I'm holding up good.
You got your family, I'm sure.
Yeah, I got some fam on the way.
Okay.
Going back to Cali. For one thing.
To get a win.
Straight up.
What stands out to you about this team? Because they're completely different from 2 years ago when we played them.
Completely different. I mean, they do a little bit of everything. They run the ball really well. Obviously, they have a quarterback who can sling it. But you can't sleep on that run game, that play action game, especially. They definitely want to do that to keep everything open. Mm-hmm. So you got to be sharp. This is every other week.
Yeah. Well, I know that every team has a running back, but what's your impressions of Eckler? I know this is not the first time you've seen him, but
he hits it. You know what I mean? He makes his decisions. Makes good decisions. Stout. Makes yards after contact. He'll get skinny if he needs to get those dirty 1 or 2 yards. He'll get skinny. I've seen him just jump through the line, like when you didn't think anything was there. He kind of jumped through, just like give his body up, got destroyed, but got the first down. I'd like that little bit of gusto in him. So it should be fun. And
the thing is about him, they'll line him up at receiver also.
Oh yeah.
And some teams, even like us, we like to run man to man. So that's like one-on-ones in practice every day. Do you live for moments like that when you're just like one-on-one in space with a running back?
Do I live for moments? No, I live for the whole moment in itself. Yeah. Am I gonna be scared of it? No. Am I gonna be ready for it? Yeah. But
so I'm asking that because as a receiver, you're just like, oh, they go on one-on-one.
They're every time.
Right.
Like corners and receivers. Yeah. I mean, it's the hardest thing in football. You're guarding someone one-on-one. They know what they're doing. You don't know what they're doing.
Right.
You're running backwards. They're running forward. I mean, just picture it. It's kind of wild, but.
Would you rather guard a tight end or a running back?
It just depends. I mean,
one-on-one match, just like one-on-one, just you and that guy.
I feel like oftentimes running backs have less experience running routes than tight ends, so you may get a better route from a tight end. But there's some running backs who are like receivers, so you may get a receiver route from a running back. So it's really just a pick your poison type of matchup. Depends on what part of the field you're in, what coverage you're in, what kind of help you have.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm just thinking of like Alvin Kamara or C.J. Ham this past Sunday, 27-yard acrobatic catch, which is crazy because some linebackers, you see a fullback out there and it's just like, he's not throwing it down.
Oh, yeah.
But so, like Austin Eckler, you got to keep your eye on him. But what we've seen on film, at least since Barr has been back, is like a lot of A-gap mugs. So just acting like you're going to blitz. On this sheet right here, is asked, do you have any funny or cool stories from when both you guys were mugging the A-gap? Or you're showing blitz?
We have a funny story. We used to have a guy named Jake Gaines, and shout out to Jake, where you see this. We had this blitz, and it was like he was supposed to fake blitz, and I think it was in the preseason, and we're supposed to fake blitz and, or you're supposed to fake like you're dropping out and then blitz, or it was one or the other. And when he went to fake, he just completely like turned his back like the opposite way, like I'm not coming, and then he just came. So we still talk about that to this day because it was he was doing exactly what they told him to do, but somehow he was doing it wrong.
He took it too literal.
It was hilarious. I mean,
so real quick, I'll share a quick story. So when Chad Greenway were playing together, everybody kind of does the double A gap mud blitz. It's not new. Yeah, it's not new. So even before Mike Zimmer, I'm sure we stole it from Mike Zimmer, but we were up in the A gaps and we're trying to bluff, hey guys, figure out which one of us is blitzing, or maybe not, neither of us, whatever. And Donovan McNabb looks at us. He's like, he shakes his head at the line of screen. He's like, man, you guys aren't blitzing. And he was right. He knew right away that we weren't blitzing. We were just mugging. And I'm like, this son of a, like, what? How did he know? But it made me think, I'm like, what did we give away? What did we do wrong? Or maybe he saw the safety or something. I didn't really get an answer, but like that sort of same situation you asked him stands out to me because it's not like what we said to each other. It's like he called us out and we're like, all right, we're terrible actors.
There's like so many interactions you have while you're in there. I mean, like, I can't even think of any right now, but like I know that there's been like some.
But I'm sure like the same way Donovan McNabb picked up on you, like you can probably pick up on like a running back if he's about to run left or run right? Like there's certain things that you can pick up on.
No doubt, and we've had people come up to us afterwards and been like, man, how'd you guys know, or like what'd you guys do? What are you guys doing to like, what are we giving away? We're just like,
trade secrets.
It's a chess game, really.
That's all it is, checkmate. And I mean, just speaking of chess, this is a team that they want to play chess with you guys. A couple of underneath routes, like everybody, right? Play action pass. Whenever they think you're blitzing, they're going to try to shoot it over the top. But speaking of the game of chess against this team, how do you what are some of their strengths that they like to do that stand out to you?
Obviously, they have really talented receivers and a quarterback that throws it downfield. So, when they do run the ball well, when they are hitting their little intermediate routes, getting the ball moving, they air it out. They'll air it out. They're not scared to do that. So, definitely got to be smart on that.
The one thing that has stood out to me, and maybe it's standing out because I just didn't pay attention to it in the years past, but like you, along with the other linebackers, and maybe you specifically, especially with your one-handed interception the other week, it seems like there's an emphasis on you guys getting back and play action so much more. I don't know if that's been a point of emphasis or you guys are just doing it and I'm noticing it more, but you guys do a great job of like honoring the play action pass because you guys sometimes have to honor that. And then, dude, you're getting back fast and you're getting back at a great angle. I mean, that one-handed interception was that was exactly what you're supposed to do. You stepped up, you realized what it was, and then like you didn't get 45 and horizontal to run past that. You went straight back, and I saw Barr do it this last week. Like, you guys doing a great job with that.
Yeah, linebackers, obviously our job is to stop the run and make tackles, but the game has changed. We got to cover these receivers. Routes are getting deeper. I guess the intricacies, something like that, of the game are just evolving every day. So it's on the backers to give that help when we need it.
Ben, you made a good point the other week.
I did?
Yeah, it's like the first time in
write that
it's
one
like
down.
our 10th show, and you finally made a good point. But I never thought of it like this. But the defense is always a half a step behind the offense. How simple that sounds.
Of course, you've never thought about that because you're an
I played
offensive guy.
But like, it makes you respect linebackers that much more because to be able to sniff that out and be like, oh shoot, it's more reactionary than anything. But correct me if I'm wrong. The linebacker position is reactionary, but you still have to be proactive in the moment, right?
Yeah, and I think that we talked about this the last time you were on, but like anything that you can do to break down their tendency and down and distance and formation and personnel to like narrow down that big playbook into like, well, probably only going to run 3 plays, and then now your brain is like, okay, I'm only kind of thinking about 3 plays versus like 20 or something like that.
And then you take those 3 plays, and then you take the first quarter or first half, and then you say, okay, how have they changed these 3 plays? Or maybe they scratched those 3 plays, and what are they doing now? So it's like, it could just completely change based on the game, or if we're just stuffing them, or stopping them, or if they're having success, they're going to come back to it. So it's always it's evolving,
And the other thing I was going to say to your point is like, I know that because he's a linebacker, we're kind of like, you're kind of phrasing that question of linebacker, but think about defensive tackles. You know, why it's so hard for those guys when they get reached on a run block or something, you're like, come on, man, like, how'd you get reached? I'm like, those guys have a yard of separation where they're reacting within a yard of another 300-pounder that knows exactly where that guy
or two 300-pounders.
Or two 300-pounders. They know where they want to go, and now you have to react and stay true to your gap integrity. It's like, it's understandable why those guys kind of lose their gap integrity sometimes, because that stuff is happening like so fast.
I mean, we talk ball every day, every week, but like I'm starting to gain much more of a respect for like defensive guys, because
it took you this long.
It took me this long because
my God.
Because like, you know, the first 15 plays of the game, like as an offense, they're all scripted. So like, all right,
you know where you're gonna okay, we got to play over here. We got doubles. We're gonna motion someone to the left.
Yeah.
We're gonna run all go.
Right.
Our play could be like, okay, we're running a play when you guys are this, but as soon as you motion to 301, we're scratching that first play we had, and we're running a totally different play now.
Right.
Because we have to match up against this now.
And then as offense, just like, okay, well, this is what they do when we motion to 3. So like, the fact, like I said, that I've been thinking about that point for like the past week or two. I'm just like, man, like the defense is always a half a step behind of everything.
That's why the true athletes are on defense. I don't think you knew that, Gabe.
The athletes that can't catch are on defense.
That's all right. That's all right. We're more cerebral. We got more quick twitch than you guys.
The ones that wanted the action are on defense.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we'll get out of here with this because I got to end on a positive note. This week, the Vikings will win if
we score more points than them. Simple game.
It's a simple game.
Right?
Yeah.
I guess you can't score 1 point in football.
No.
Can't. Yeah, you can score 2.
Yeah.
But how do we do that, though? How do we score more points? Like, what is the?
You check us out. you hold them to having less points than you get.
You sound like Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson. B-Rob posted a picture. He was like, all right, I'm gonna predict the game today. One team's gonna score more points. One team's gonna score more than the other team.
It's a simple game, man.
And then that team's gonna win. The other team's gonna lose. But hopefully that winning team is the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday. Always a pleasure talking to you, man. EK. Best of luck going forward. I know we'll see you out there on Sunday with you, your family, and with a win, hopefully, on Sunday. For Ben Leber, EK, my name is Gabe Henderson. This is the Audible presented by Verizon. See you guys next week.